The Sean Diddy Combs trial has officially ended, and the hip-hop world is in complete chaos. After 6 weeks of explosive testimony, shocking revelations, and celebrity drama, both sides have rested their cases. But what happened in those final moments will blow your mind. I'm breaking down everything: the celebrity reactions, the industry fallout, and what this means for the future of hip-hop. Trust me, you don't want to miss a single detail of this breakdown. Let's start from the beginning. Sean Combs was arrested in September on federal charges including racketeering and sex trafficking. This wasn't just any celebrity scandal. This was the federal government taking down one of hip-hop's most powerful figures. The trial lasted 6 weeks with 32 days of testimony. The prosecution painted a picture of a criminal enterprise operating under the guise of bad boy records. They presented text messages, hotel records, and witness testimony that allegedly showed a pattern of abuse and coercion. But here's where it gets interesting. The defense strategy was basically radio silence. They called 0 witnesses to defend Diddy. Not one character witness, not one expert, nothing. And then came the moment everyone was waiting for. Would Sean Combs take the stand in his own defense? When Judge Arun Subramanian asked him directly, Combs said, quote, "That is my decision with my lawyers," and refused to testify. Legal experts say this was either a smart strategic move or a sign that his lawyers knew the cross-examination would be devastating. Now, here's where the story gets really juicy. The celebrity reactions have been absolutely wild. 50 Cent has been having a field day on social media, posting memes and essentially celebrating Diddy's downfall. He posted, "I told y'all this was coming," with crying, laughing emojis. The pettiness is unreal. Meanwhile, Jay-Z and Beyonce have been completely silent. Remember, these are people who were at Diddy's parties, who did business with Bad Boy Records for decades. Their silence is speaking volumes. Kanye West, surprisingly, has been one of the few celebrities to publicly support Diddy. He even tweeted at Trump asking him to please free my brother Puff. While everyone else is running for cover, Kanye is doubling down on loyalty. Industry insiders are saying this trial has created a climate of fear in Hollywood. People are worried about guilt by association, worried about their own past connections to Diddy coming under scrutiny. The ripple effects are already happening. Several artists have quietly distanced themselves from Bad Boy Records, and there are rumors of major label executives being questioned by federal investigators. Let's talk about the prosecution's case, because it was devastating. They didn't just throw allegations around, they came with receipts. The government presented evidence of what they called freak-offs, elaborate parties where guests were allegedly coerced into participating in sexual acts. They had hotel records showing Diddy booking multiple rooms, purchasing large quantities of supplies, and paying for cleanup services. But the most damaging testimony came from a witness known only as Jane. Her testimony was so graphic and detailed that it had people in the courtroom visibly shaken. She described years of alleged abuse, coercion, and being forced to participate in these events. The prosecution also presented text messages between Diddy and associates that allegedly showed him coordinating these events and discussing ways to keep participants quiet. They painted a picture of a systematic operation designed to exploit and control people. The defense's strategy was to attack the credibility of witnesses, suggesting they were motivated by money and revenge. But with the physical evidence backing up the testimony, that became a very difficult argument to make. Now let's talk about what might be the most shocking part of this entire trial. The defense's complete lack of witnesses. Think about it. Sean Combs has been in the music industry for over 30 years. He's worked with hundreds of artists, producers, executives, and staff members. Surely someone could have testified to his character, right? The fact that his legal team called absolutely no witnesses tells us everything we need to know about how toxic this situation has become. Either they couldn't find anyone willing to testify for him, or they were worried that any witness would open the door to more damaging cross-examination. Legal experts are calling this a Hail Mary strategy. Essentially, the defense is hoping that the prosecution didn't meet their burden of proof, and that they can create reasonable doubt without presenting any counter evidence. But here's the problem with that strategy. When the government has text messages, hotel records, financial documents, and multiple witness testimonies, staying silent can look like an admission of guilt. And then there's Diddy's decision not to testify. In federal court, defendants have an absolute right to remain silent, and the jury is instructed not to hold that against them. But psychologically, when someone is fighting for their freedom and chooses not to tell their side of the story, it raises questions. This trial isn't just about Sean Combs. It's about the entire music industry and how business has been conducted for decades. For years, there have been whispers about the dark side of the entertainment industry. Powerful men using their influence to exploit artists, parties that cross legal and ethical lines, and a culture of silence that protected the powerful. This trial has blown that culture wide open. Federal investigators are now looking at other industry figures, and there's talk of more indictments coming. What does this mean for Bad Boy Records? The label that launched careers for Notorious B.I.G., Faith Evans, 112, and countless others is now forever associated with these allegations. From a financial perspective, Diddy's empire is crumbling. His music catalog, his vodka brand, his media companies, everything is now under federal scrutiny. Even if he's acquitted, the damage to his brand may be irreparable. But there's a bigger conversation happening here about power, accountability, and the need for change in the entertainment industry. This trial has shown that no one is too powerful to face justice when the federal government decides to act. So what happens next? The jury is now deliberating, and legal experts are split on what the verdict will be. The prosecution presented a strong case with multiple witnesses and physical evidence, but the defense is hoping that reasonable doubt about witness credibility will be enough for an acquittal. Most legal analysts think we're looking at a mixed verdict, guilty on some charges, not guilty on others. But even a partial conviction on federal racketeering charges could mean decades in prison. Regardless of the verdict, this trial has already changed the music industry forever. The days of unchecked power and silence are over. Artists, executives, and industry insiders know they're being watched. And there are rumors that this is just the beginning. Federal investigators have reportedly interviewed dozens of other industry figures, and there's talk of a much larger investigation into entertainment industry practices. What do you think the verdict will be? Are we about to see the end of one of hip-hop's biggest empires? Or will Diddy somehow beat these charges? The jury deliberation could take days or even weeks, but we'll be covering every single development as it happens. Like this video if you want more comprehensive breakdowns like this one. Subscribe and hit that notification bell because this story is far from over. There are more revelations coming, more industry figures who might be implicated, and a whole lot more drama ahead. Drop your predictions in the comments below and make sure you're subscribed because tomorrow we're breaking down the craziest conspiracy theories surrounding this entire case. Trust me, you won't believe what some people are saying about this trial.